Hello again, internet world. Uh, my name is Dane. If you have forgotten, all of the one of you who watched my last video, which probably was me because I checked it out, but if you disappeared and then it came back, so I don't know. Let's see. Easy breezy. What did I do this week? So, overall word count, it's about 7,500 words this month, or this week. Um, Split between my third book of Path of the Chosen and my new fantasy type, battling type thing. I need to come up with a name for it, so I should probably do that pretty soon. I'm trying to think of like what else I want to talk about while I'm making these videos, and I guess some of the things I have talked about is like what my process is, what I'm kind of planning on doing, how that's going, what the struggles are, stuff like that. This week particularly, I felt really good about what I had wrote, and some of those things. Well, I guess let's talk about first things first. The biggest change that I've made recently is that I have struggled to write, to type as I'm going on a PC or a laptop. And so I tried to find ways to adapt that. So normally what I'd do is I'd sit down and I'd write down on my notebook, handwrite, and then I would go and edit that and type it out. And I would kind of be okay with that because it was like, okay, I'm doing like a second pass. I'm doing like a second draft as I'm typing that up. But it really becomes, as I started to do more actual typing and be able to do it, I realized that it was a lot more effort to be handwriting and then typing it out. So, as much as I kind of like having a paper copy, I'm just having to get really good with my backups and make sure that I am keeping track of all that. I use Scrivener to write. It's a kind of a document. It's a word processing document or application, but it's based for writing, and you can actually have. I was actually thinking when I was looking for something like this, if Google Docs had something where you could put different notes or different pages within that I could go back and look to, so I could have instead of having a really long sheet, and that's what Scrivener is. It has a bunch of different. You can set up like your chapters. You can have different files and different ways, different places to put things within the same document, and it's easier to find stuff. The problem with that was that I was working off of my flash drive because sometimes I like to write in my downstairs, sometimes I like to write up here in my office. So I was using the flash drive as like my main go-to. That was where I would save my first copy, and then I would back it up to my computer later. Scrivener didn't like that. It thinks that my flash drive is broken or corrupt. So it wouldn't do that, and I thought I had lost some material, but I ended up getting it back. So I figured out how to turn off the automatic backups, so that alleviated a little bit of my stress in using it. And then I just realized that I should just work off my computer and then back up to the flash drive. So that's what I've been doing. It's been going really well. I enjoy it. One of the other things that I started to do was to just type on my phone. That's what I'm writing this new fantasy type novel in, is just Google Docs on my phone. And I like that because I like to go on walks, and I'll just like be up and active and writing on my phone, and so it's kind of like a dual purpose thing, and I can focus on writing while I'm just walking, and it's nice. So that's kind of what I do. It's kind of enabled me to, I wouldn't say it's helped me write more or longer. It's made it so that I have more time to do other stuff during the day. like play video games. So that's kind of like the process that I've been working through. Um, some of the things that I enjoyed about this week is when I was writing Path of the Chosen. Um, there's different animals. So there's rabbits, beavers, squirrels, mice, chipmunks, moles, and hedgehogs within this valley. So they're all of varying sizes. So I wrote from one of my characters who's a chipmunk's point of view, and I thought that playing with the size of them and writing that was fun this week. Um, Also, part of this story is that they are like an emerging type settlement, colony, civilization. So they're discovering new things. Like, I wrote about a cook who invented salad, uh, and it was just fun. It was just really fun to talk about and write, and have another chipmunk get excited about creating like a Waldorf type salad, and because up until then it's like they've basically just been eating regular food or raw food. They don't have fire yet, which is something that will happen in the future. I see this as something that is kind of emerging technology throughout the span of a few seasons or years, and then moving up towards having more of like maybe even a futuristic type, not necessarily like a steampunk type thing, but they will have technology and it will be cool and I will like it and I hope other people like it. Part of doing that this week, writing that chapter, I'm learning how to write slower. The first two books kind of take place in the span of like a week or 10 days or so. So it's really, really bang, bang, bang fast. And a lot happens and there's not a lot of downtime. So I like that. I think it was fun. But slowing it down a little bit, I think I've got to learn how to do that, and that's what I'm doing. So that was nice. In my other story, I got to kind of delve into like what their magic is, and write like a little battle type scene, which was fun for me. Getting to see like their capabilities, what I'm coming up with, like what they're able to do. It's fun. I grew up on like the action movies and like the martial arts movies, so I love that stuff. I still love that stuff, and being able to kind of write it in more of a fantasy magic type way was cool. So I'm excited to keep doing that. And then I've been kind of working on like an outline for that story, and not really knowing a lot of the backstory. And then I was writing a little section today, and boom, just hit me. I was like, wow, this could be these two paragraphs that I wrote, or it could be a whole chapter. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to kind of transition it into a whole chapter. I don't know if it's going to be like I don't think it'll be like a dream sequence or like I think it's just going to be kind of like a reminiscing of one of the characters of how everybody met. And instead of doing like a prologue, which I don't necessarily like, I like to just kind of start, and go back if you need to. Let's see. What else? I was going to make this short, but that's not short at all. I'm at 9 minutes. Next week, I'm going to be kind of on vacation. My wife has a little conference that I'm going to tag along to back in the town that I grew up in. So I'm going to hang out with my family and just kind of putter around, see what's changed. So I probably won't be writing a lot, but I'm going to probably develop a little bit more of this fantasy magic story and come up with a name for it, like I mentioned at the beginning. Let's see. I think that's about it. Still thinking about my away team comic / audio type story. I might work a little bit more on that. I have like 30 or so issues of that kind of outlined in my head. I have this kind of idea that these quote cycles are like a monthly installment, so like 12 per year. So like each cycle is 12, and it kind of follows them over the course of months or even years within that. So I have like 30 or 25 of those kind of etched out in my head. So I want to kind of get a little bit of more of those going. And I think I'm just going to probably post them to my blog for the meantime. I haven't had the time to record anything or get my wife involved or anything like that. So I'll see where that goes. I was using Wattpad. I had one of my short stories up on there that I've written. But it seems very romance heavy on that site. So I don't know if I really want to have my stuff up there because, I don't know, it's fine. But I think people go there to look at romance stuff. So I should probably find something where people want to look at fantasy sci-fi stuff. Let's see. That's it. That's all I've written down today. So I hope everybody has a good weekend or whenever I post this. So a good week. Yeah. And I will catch you later.